Hello Zany friends, I am Laney.
I'm Marshall.
And today we're going to do a little video tutorial using the Whatever palette from Pretties for your face. And it's been a little while since we've done a makeup tutorial, but of course I partner a lot with Pretties for your face. I am in a rep for them. Also, I do have an affiliate link down below if you want to save some monies. Go ahead and check the code. She just came out with a Hocus Pocus theme palette, which had already launched at the time that this video go up. It will already launched along with the highlighter. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up. But this was the palette that she launched previously in collaboration with our 90s box when we did the Clueless set. So definitely check this out. It's really awesome. What are we going to talk about today when we do this?
Well, you know, we were talking a little bit about the fact that, well, books. Books and stuff.
Books and stuff.
Books and stuff. Like, you know, we're thinking of a little bit of another launch of our own, maybe. Another scent collection based off of some novels. So
Books,
why not talk about books while you put something on the things that read the books?
That's so true. Already on my face, I have pretty much put on everything except for this. I did want to talk about a little bit of what I've already used. So on my lips, I'm using this Physicians Formula Healthy Lip. This is in the shade Dose of Rose. It's really nice and comfortable. I do like it, and I think it's a really awesome shade for fall because it's a little berry with a little rose. The highlighter, you can get these palettes at Pretties for your face, and I have just like 4 of her highlighters in here plus one like single shadow that I sometimes use, and you'll see why in here, but like I sometimes use it for like a crease color. But I'm using this shade right here for this highlighter. It is called Just Glow, and what's really cool about Just Glow is if you turn off the lights, it does glow in the dark. So yeah, that one came out I think the same time as the Whatever palette also, so I had to get it. But these are my other 4. I have quite an extensive highlighter collection. I also am probably going to be getting the Hocus Pocus highlighter. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on her site as well. So check those out if you're a fan of highlighters. It's just really, it's awesome. So those are the 2 things on my face already. This is the Whatever palette again, and these are the shadows inside of it.
Very bright, saturated ones.
It's because it's like the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So this is not even, this is called Way Harsh. This one is I'm Outie. This one is Whatever, and this one is Girlfriend. So what I'm going to be doing basically is using this one. Now, we had asked for like a matte shade in this in a palette, like for her to start including matte shades. This is like the perfect crease shade ever. So I'm going to use this as my crease shade just to kind of start it off because it is matte. And then this is the other matte one in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this one over the lid. So you're going to get a very nice matte base. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this blue, the I'm Outie, put it up into the crease. And then I'm going to put Way Harsh on the middle of the lid. And then I'm going to take oh wait, no, this is Whatever. Whatever's going on the middle of the lid, and Way Harsh is going to go towards the inner corner. So you're going to kind of go like
make a little pop.
Yeah, like a white, pink, blue gradation there.
So it's like a metallic version of the American flag. Kind
of, and like more pastels. And then I'm using this ColourPop cream liner on my lower lid. It is called Prance. It's kind of an interesting blue, just in the lower part, because I kind of think that pop of color is going to be great. And then I'm going to finish it off with the NYX Epic Ink Liner. So I won't have to like explain everything as we go. We can just talk as we do this.
Yeah. So like, what is the first books that you remember reading?
Oh man, like I don't even have a question. I was basically reading from a very young age, like pretty young. So I don't even remember. What about you?
The ones that I first like remember reading, although I know I read pretty early on. I mean, I did a book report I still kind of remember on A Wrinkle in Time. I remember that I was pretty tripped out by that book because I was in 4th grade and I'm going, whoa.
I remember reading that, Little House on the Prairie, Babysitter's Club. Like I read those all about the same time.
When I got older though, like I had a collection of books. They were all like Star Trek Next Generation young adult novels that went into like the academy days of all of the main characters of Next Generation. Worf's was cool. Deanna Troi had a cool one. I really liked Worf's though. Like I can't even tell you what the plot lines were anymore. It's been that long. But
Yes.
they were kind of funny.
I'm not surprised.
Since we both read A Wrinkle in Time back when we were younger, what do you remember of it, like, before we saw all these movies that came out?
Well, I actually went back and read it before I saw the movie again, and I forgot how much I love the storytelling in it. Like, the storytelling is just, it's beautiful. I read most of the second book again, and I was kind of on my way to reading the third one when I got sidetracked by other things, because I read a lot, so, other books. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a purist to the book. I thought the movie was great, but I wasn't like, I don't know. I always thought that there were some things that should have been done a little bit differently in the movie, but...
I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Although it felt like there was a little bit too much of a, hey, did you know we can do stuff with computers for graphics now?
Yeah, there was a little bit too much of that.
But, like, it felt like it had the heart of the book.
Yes,
Even if it didn't necessarily follow the plot of the book exactly, it had the heart of it. Which I think has been a big thing that we've seen in movies nowadays. People really criticize books and movies in their conversion, that they go, well, this movie is not exactly the book. But I'm like, but it feels like the same thing.
But doesn't it kind of like give you the ability to go and read the book and still have a different experience even?
I think so. I mean, I had a conversation with one of my coworkers about Ready Player One. Ready Player One had a massive difference between the book and the movie. They completely changed all of the trials that the characters had to go through. And I was like, I feel okay with that. Because A, it's giving me a whole new kind of fresh perspective on it. But it was also something that could take all of that huge storyline and compress it down into a movie.
Into a 2-hour movie, yeah.
If you were going to do the exact same thing as the book, you'd have to do it as a miniseries.
Yeah, you would.
Netflix.
So, do you read, like, books now, like, at all?
I want to. I try to. Like, there is one series that as soon as a book comes out on audiobook, I immediately snap that up. I treat audiobook reading as real reading. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not actually looking at words on a page, but...
Still, it's still like...
It's taking something creative and experiential and it's putting in your head. And it deals very heavily with the English language. But my favorite series is Dresden Files. It's the right blend of detective noir, fantasy, and sci-fi nerdy. It hits me just right. What about you? What's your favorite book series to read right now?
Well, I was actually thinking about this because I'm doing a swap during Christmas, and they were like, what's your favorite book series? Harry Potter is my favorite book series. Like, I could read that so many times and I don't even care. I love the Shopaholic series. Every time Sophie Kinsella comes out with another book, I'll read it. I don't really care what it's about. Right now, I'm actually reading the Caraval series, only there's 2 of them, and I think there might be another one coming out. But I went back and reread Caraval, and now I'm reading Legendary, which is the second one. So that, you know, I like, what is her name? Sophie Davis. She does a lot of different series, like there's a Fated, I think is the first one in one of the series, and like the Time Syndicate. So she has some like sci-fi ones that are interesting. So, Fragile Facade, that's another series, and I think they're coming out with a totally different series later. It's actually 2 people writing under one name, so, yeah. But yeah, I like her books also a lot. Young adult, I'm down with young adult whatever, so...
Honestly, there's a lot of really good young adult novels out there.
Yeah.
I remember reading through, what was it? Artemis Fowl.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
And I never really finished that series either.
Me neither. I got like through the second book, but then I dropped off. But it was a good series.
It was a good series.
Didn't I see that Disney was going to do something of that?
At some point they were, but I don't know what happened. I'm not really sure what happened. Okay, I am almost done with the shadows. I will say that I'm just going to blend out a little bit here. And I will say too, I'm going to add a little bit of that silver color that you see right underneath my brow bone. Her more glittery shades, I like to apply with my finger just because it makes it pop a lot more and it's a better application. Whereas, you know, some of the other shades, like that dark blue one, you know, just a regular brush will do. But for this, I'm just going to pop a little bit right under here. Not a lot though, just a little bit. There is one thing I do have to say about her shadows. I mean, full honesty about it. I do love them, and I love the pops of color, but if there's a lot of glitter in her shadows, a lot of times they will break on me, so please be careful when you are storing them, or if you're going to take them traveling. Make sure you protect it so that they don't break on you. A lot of times I just spray a little alcohol back on it and press it back down, but they sometimes are a little crumbly, and I've had her stuff for like maybe a year now. I think I've had her stuff, so you know, just keep that in mind to be careful. It's not bad shadow, just be careful.
I've never seen a set of her shadows that didn't look good.
Exactly.
It's got really good colors on it, and honestly, I've seen them apply rather well. I mean, from what I can tell, there might be a little bit of fallout going on here, but that's not
there's a little bit right
lot.
Here. No.
She's got really good quality shadows going on here.
Okay. Now I'm going to put on the eyeliner.
Okay.
And we should be done with the look. Oh, I also want to tell you that the primer I'm using is the matte paint pot in Painterly. So that I used on the bottom part. But that is basically the look I created with the whatever palette. I used every single shadow in here. Again, I think this is one of the most complete palettes she's done. I love it. Her other palettes are great for pops of color. Like I was looking in some of my bigger palettes and I was like, I want a pop of color. So I looked through hers and she always had some really great ones. So keep that in mind also, but there you go. I also really love this liner. This ColourPop liner, this blue in the bottom is just like singing to me. Singing to me. Anyway, drop your favorite books down in the comments so that we know what you like.
And if you haven't read a book recently, you should. It's good for you. It's like vegetables for your brain.
You know, if you don't like actually reading with your eyes, definitely Audible and video books. Yes, video books. That's like a movie.
Video books. Oh, yeah. We need to invent that. Video books.
An audio book is definitely as viable, you know. So either way, whatever you do, it's back to school time. Time to read. Find a book. Let's do this.
Yeah, maybe we should like do some videos where I read a book and that's a video book.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Stay zany.
Bye-bye.